At one time, thousands of railroad towers dotted the United States, controlling interlockings and railroad lines across the country. Operators, railroad employees, and even rail fans have spent many summer days in and around these towers watching train movements. On June 19, 2023, we were treated to one of these classic summer days at AC Tower in Marion, Ohio. AC Tower was a tower constructed to control the crossing of the New York Central, Erie, Norfolk and Western, and C&O in Marion, Ohio. It was closed by CSX in 1995 and eventually donated and moved across the tracks in 1999. The tower is now a museum piece and has been restored to almost original condition. We spent the summer day with one of the wonderful volunteers named George, lining trains and enjoying the classic sights and sounds of a railroad interlocking tower. The first train we OS'd at AC Tower was a southbound CSX coal train running on the C&O. We're viewing this train looking out the west windows over the electronics of the interlocking machine. The tower was originally constructed in 1902 and was controlled by the New York Central. It stood on stilts and was originally about 10 feet higher when it stood on the north side of the tracks. It was lowered in its current location due to overhead obstructions and to create better sight lines. The model board and electronics of the tower have been lovingly restored, and you can still line trains on the model board just like an operator would have 20 plus years ago. The model board displays all of the existing tracks as well as some that have been removed in the past. One thing that was disorienting about the model board was all of the action was now behind you instead of in front of you. This was due to the move from the north side to the south side of the tracks. The operator's desk, however, has a better vantage point with the move. Now looking to the northwest, you have a much better view of all three main lines when sitting in this position. Next up was a northbound coal train on the former Norfolk and Western. We got a great view of this train heading through the tower and north through the operator's window. The sound of clickety-clack of a train going over a railroad diamond is something that cannot be beat. It is made even better when you're sitting in a tower. Following it was another northbound on the N&W. As you can see, we have some of our lineups on the model board.
Alright, so then he's clear.
As the train continues north, George helps us make the lineup happen on the model board. The entire electronic system has been restored to allow guests to make interlocking moves on the model board.
I'll wait for it to turn on, yeah. And then we can roll. And that's mechanical locking though. And then what that train just did is he went. We can do that. We just
Ready?
As the action continues to stay hot on the Norfolk and Western, operator for the day, Stu, lines up the next southbound, which will be coming through momentarily. As we look over the operator's desk and through the north window, the southbound comes into view. A Norfolk Southern manifest running on the former Norfolk and Western. As the train rolls by, George sits and enjoys the sound and his tower, while Stu gives a roll by. As the train clears, we clear the model board and get ready for the next move. You can see the lights extinguish as we make the necessary changes on the board. The next move would be one of our better catches from the day. The CSX Local shoves back into the Marion yard with the Conrail caboose on the point. Seeing a Conrail blue caboose through an interlocking window was definitely one of the more special parts of our summer day in AC Tower. The entire tower has been restored to an amazing as-used condition. The electronics and interlocking machine are immaculate and functioning as they should. The operator's desk is set up in such a way that it was used towards the end of its time on CSX. Sitting in the corner, you can take on the classic view of the machine and the model board as well as the operator's desk. This is a view I imagine many rail fans would have loved to have not only in the past, but in the present day. The tower has plenty of room for its guests as well as its caretakers to move around in the building. In this view, we are looking to the east over the electronics and with the model board just above. The volunteers at Marion Union Depot as well as AC Tower were absolutely wonderful. George took plenty of time to explain to us the intricacies of the interlocking machine and all of the electronics. He was even able to give us hands-on examples of how to make lineups and how the machine actually worked. The technology at use was absolutely amazing. Even though it was built in 1902, it acted just like a computer. The only difference was all of the decisions being made were being made mechanically instead of electronically. Here, George is showing Stu some of the various lockouts that are used to prevent conflicting train movements from being lined. The Norfolk and Western remained hot as a southbound manifest passes AC Tower with the DPU. Here we take a view out of the operator's window with the classic AC sign in frame.
Alright, so I got this.
As luck would have it, our final move of the day would be a northbound local passing the tower. This train met the southbound manifest and would head north passing our tower, making our last OS of the day. Watching trains from a former railroad tower was an absolutely amazing experience. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend you check out the Marion Union Depot and AC Tower. The Tower and Depot Museum are open to the public on weekends and select days throughout the year. If you stop by, don't be afraid to go say hi and check out all they have to offer. Also, consider a donation to help with the operations of the museum and the tower. That will bring our time at AC Tower to a close. I hope you enjoyed this classic day at a railroad interlocking tower. If you like this video, do not forget to subscribe for future rail fanning videos.